All right, beautiful people. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is November the 1st, 2021, day 291 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, and of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 959. Y'all, today we're reading the next 5 chapters in Psalm chapter 56 through 60, and we're going to pick up where we left off at yesterday in Shakespeare's Secret Messiah, Chapter 2. We start in Chapter 2 on page 87, and we'll go from there. All right, beautiful people. I know I'm running a little bit behind today. We started a new project today, so there's some things that I had to get done first thing this morning. So let's go ahead and do the Shema, and we're going to get right to it. All right. I didn't even check my to see if you can view it publicly. I can't check it now. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Just real quick. Make sure it says public view. It doesn't. That's why. Public. Okay. That's one thing I forgot to check. Okay. So it should be showing now. Let's see. Yeah. It's showing now. All right, beautiful people. All right, so let's go ahead and do the Shema, which is found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, starting at verse 3. Hold on, let's see something. Just in case. It might need to reset. Here. I'll do that one more time. Yep. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, the Shema is found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 3. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahuwah, the mighty one of our fathers, has promised us, in the land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah, our mighty one, he is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your mighty one, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates. And Yahuwah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuwah, our mighty one, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah, our mighty one, as he has commanded us. Bella, girl, can you go do that somewhere else? Yeah, it's frozen. You left it in there all night, sis. All right, y'all. So we're hopping right on over here to Psalms. I know Facebook, I had ended and started over again because of the privacy settings. I forgot to check the privacy settings on it. But all right, y'all. Psalm chapter 60. This is for the choir director. It's a Psalm of David, useful for, we're not starting at 60. We need to go back to 56. I'm sorry. I looked ahead to see how long the verses was. I'm sorry. Psalm 56, which is also for the choir director, a Psalm of David regarding the time the Philistines seized him in Gath, to be sung to the tune Dove on distant oaks. O Yah, have mercy on me, for people are hounding me. My foes attack me all day long. I am constantly hounded by those who slander me, and many are boldly attacking me. But when I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. I praise Yahuwah for what he has promised. I trust in Yahuwah, so why should I be afraid? What can mere mortals do to me? They are always twisting what I say. They spend their days plotting to harm me. They come together to spy on me, watching my every step, eager to kill me. Don't let them get away with their wickedness and your anger. Oh, Yah, bring them down. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. My enemies will retreat when I call to you for help. This I know, Yahuwah is on my side. I praise Yahuwah for what he has promised. Yes, I praise Yahuwah for what he has promised. I trust in Yah, so why should I be afraid? What can mere mortals do to me? I will fulfill my vows to you, O Yah, and will offer a sacrifice of thanks for your help. For you have rescued me from death. You have kept my feet from slipping. So now I can walk in your presence, O Yah, in your life giving light. Tiffany Hager, hey, Uncle Nathaniel, Mom Shalom. Psalm 57. For the choir director, a psalm of David regarding the time he fled from Saul and went into the cave, to be sung to the tune, Do Not Destroy. Have mercy on me, O Yah, have mercy. I look to you for protection. I will hide beneath the shadow of your wings until danger passes by. I cry out to the Most High, to Yahuwah who fulfills his purpose for me. He will send help from heaven to rescue me, disgracing those who hound me. My God will send forth his unfailing love and faithfulness. I am surrounded by fierce lions who greedily devour human prey, whose teeth pierce like spears and arrows, and whose tongues cut like swords. Be exalted, O Yah, above the highest heavens. May your glory shine over all the earth. My enemies have set a trap for me. I am weary from distress. They have dug a deep pit in my path, but they themselves have fallen into it. My heart is confident in you, O Yah. My heart is confident. No wonder I can sing your praises. Wake up, my heart. Wake up, O lyre and harp. I will wake to the dawn with my song. I will thank you, Yah, among all the people. I will sing your praises among the nations. For your unfailing love is as high as the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Be exalted, O Yah, above the highest heavens. May your glory shine over all the earth. Next chapter, Psalm chapter 58. For the choir director, a psalm of David to be sung to the tune, Do Not Destroy. Justice, do you rulers Justice. Do you rulers know the meaning of the word? Do you judge the people fairly? No. You plot injustice in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land. These wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. They spit venom like deadly snakes. They are like cobras that refuse to listen, ignoring the tunes of the snake charmers, no matter how skillfully they play. Break off their fangs, O Yah. Smash the jaws of these lions, O Yah. May they disappear like water into thirsty ground. Make their weapons useless in their hands. May they be like snails that dissolve into slime, like a stillborn child who will never see the sun. Yahuwah will sweep them away, both young and old, faster than a pot heats over burning thorns. The godly will rejoice when they see injustice avenged. They will wash their feet in the blood of the wicked. Then at last everyone will say, there truly is a reward for those who live for Yah. Surely there is a God who judges justly here on earth. Trina Hager, hey. Psalm chapter 59. For the choir director, a psalm of David regarding the time Saul sent soldiers to watch David's house in order to kill him, to be sung to the tune, Do Not Destroy. Rescue me from my enemies, O Yah. Protect me from those who have come to destroy me. Rescue me from these criminals. Save me from these murderers. They have set an ambush for me. Fierce enemies are out there waiting, Yah, though I have not sinned or offended them. I have done nothing wrong, yet they prepare to attack me. Wake up, see what is happening, and help me. O Yah, the God of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, wake up and punish those hostile nations. Show no mercy to wicked traitors. They come out at night, snarling like vicious dogs as they prowl the streets. Listen to the filth that comes from their mouths. Their words cut like swords. After all, who can hear us? They sneer. But you, Yah, laugh at them. You scoff at all the hostile nations. You are my strength. I wait for you to rescue me, for you, O Yah, are my fortress. In his unfailing love, my God will stand with me. He will let me look down in triumph upon all my enemies. Don't kill them, for my people soon forget such lessons. Stagger them with your power and bring them to their knees. O Yahuwah, our shield, because of the sinful things they say, because of the evil that is on their lips, let them be captured by their pride, their curses, and their lies. Destroy them in your anger. Wipe them out completely. Then the whole world will know that the God of Israel reigns. My enemies come out at night, snarling like vicious dogs as they prowl the streets. They scavenge for food, but go to sleep unsatisfied. But as for me, I will sing about your power. Each morning I will sing with joy about your unfailing love, for you have been my refuge, a place of safety when I am in distress. O my strength, to you I sing praises, for you, O Yah, are my refuge, the God who shows me unfailing love. Last chapter for today, Psalm chapter 60. It's for the choir director, a psalm of David, useful for teaching regarding the time David fought Aram Naharam and Aram Zobah, and Joab returned to kill 12,000 Edomites in the valley of Salt, to be sung to the tune, Lily of the Testimony. You have rejected us, O Yah, and broken our defenses. You have been angry with us. Now restore us to your favor. You have shaken our land and split it open. Seal the cracks, for the land trembles. You have been very hard on us, making us drink wine that sent us reeling. But you have raised a banner for those who fear you, a rally point in the face of attack. Now rescue your beloved people. Answer and save us by your power. Yahuwah has promised this by his holiness. I will divide up Shechem with joy. I will measure out the valley of Sukkoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh too. Ephraim, my helmet, will produce my warriors. And Judah, my scepter, will produce my kings. But Moab, my wash basin, will become my servant. And I will wipe my feet on Edom and shout in triumph over Philistia. Who will bring me into the fortified city? Who will bring me victory over Edom? Have you rejected us, O Yah? Will you no longer march with our armies? Oh, please, help us against our enemies. For all human help is useless. With Yahuwah's help, we will do mighty things, for he will trample down our foes. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. Let's hop on over here to Shakespeare's Secret Messiah, starting in chapter 2, y'all. I ain't gonna do too much extra storytelling today because we started late. I had to get some stuff done. We got a new project starting today. So, all right, y'all. Marlowe's The Jew of Malta. This is page 87, y'all. The very first page of chapter 2. The Jew of Malta begins with a prologue spoken by Machiavelli, obviously a personification of Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher who possibly satirically advocated that rulers abandon morality in their use of authority. Machiavelli's speech takes on a religious connotation when he states that those who use his principles shall attain to Peter's chair, and lays out the basic moral framework of the play by stating that religion is but a childish toy, and I hold that there is no sin but ignorance. That's good. Mm. He notes that kings who claim that they have some right to the throne are naive, and mentions that Caesar seized his empire through force and not any imagined right. Many will talk of a title of a crown. What right had Caesar to the empire? Obviously, Marlowe is addressing a pressing issue of his day, the divine right claimed by Christianity's rulers. The lead character of The Jew of Malta, Barabbas, like the popes and the Caesars, favors the nihilism of Machiavelli. I crave but this: grace him as he deserves, and let him not be entertained the worse because he favors me. And that was a quote. I should have said quote. Let me read it again. The lead characters of The Jew of Malta, Barabbas, like the popes and the Caesars, favors the nihilism of Machiavelli. Quote, I crave but this, grace him as he deserves, and let him not be entertained the worse because he favors me. End quote. Though the concepts in Machiavelli's I think that's soliloquy. Yeah. Though the concepts in Machiavelli's soliloquy seem disjointed, they created a precise conceptual matrix that aligns to the gospel's hidden satire. In other words, Machiavelli is stating that Caesar saw religion as a toy to fool the ignorant, and that this perspective was shared by those who attained Peter's chair and became pope. The reason that the Caesar and the Pope share the same philosophy was because a single group of men sharing a single mindset attained both seats. And bear in mind that the Caesars held the title of Pontifex Maximus, the head of the Roman religion, which eventually became the title of the Roman Catholic Pope. Barabbas is a composite Hebrew word meaning son of the Father, and was the name given to the individual who was tried alongside Jesus. As recorded by Origen, his full name was Jesus Barabbas, and as shown in Caesar's Messiah, this individual was part of the comedy in the Gospels, whereby a herd of Jesuses, who were all the sons of the Father, wandered about at the conclusions of the different Gospels. The many Jesus Barabbases created the confusion needed by Titus to switch himself for the Jews' Messiah and become the final Jesus of the Gospels. Marlowe was aware of this comic theme and named his lead Barabbas to link it. In the play, Barabbas positively relishes the murder of Christians. He poisons an entire nunnery, including his own daughter, who has converted to Christianity. This portrayal has led to the understanding that Marlowe was anti Semitic. However, this villainous portrayal may have been a necessary perspective for a playwright writing about Jews in England during the era. Marlowe left information hidden within the play to record Barabbas' justification for his behavior. It is interesting to compare the typology in The Jew of Malta with that of Shakespeare's Merchant of Venus, analyzed below. Marlowe's typology is cruder, and one can clearly see the development of the veiled Jewish literary response to the Gospels when comparing the two plays. While Marlowe's character Barabbas's Okay. While Marlowe's character, Barabbas isn't, it don't make any sense why he has an S on this. Hold on. That's why I had to pause and read it and make it make sense to me. Hold on. Okay. This sounds improper, but let me just read it. It's too many S's for me. While Marlowe's character, Barabbas's knowledge, has rendered him an evil, murderous, philosophical nihilist, we will see that Shakespeare's characters have a goal greater than themselves, as they are working for a general purpose of promoting Jewish interests. When the play introduces Barabbas, he is counting his enormous fortune, which he describes in loving detail. While describing his wealth, he makes the following comment, which is central to the satirical level of the Jew of Malta. Quote, and thus methinks should men of judgment frame their means of traffic from the vulgar trade, and as their wealth increases, so enclose infinite riches in a little room. End quote. Marlowe is stating that the means of traffic, that is the method by which men of judgment create their wealth.
Can I said head out for?
Yeah, he about to head out.
No, can I said head out?
Yeah, he about to head out.
No.
Are you about to head out? No, he told you to head out of his room. Oh, okay. But now you're here.
Me.
Okay, very good, sis. Okay. Marlowe is stating that the means of traffic, that is, the method by which men of judgment create their wealth, needs to be framed or hidden from ordinary people, the vulgar trade overtly. Hold on. Let me read that again. I'm doing air quotes and stuff. Okay. Marlowe is stating that the means of traffic, that is, the method by which men of judgment create their wealth, needs to be framed or hidden from ordinary people, the vulgar trade. Overtly, this means of traffic seems to be referring to what we might call white collar crimes of high level commerce. Moreover, I believe it can also be interpreted as a double entendre referring to Christianity, which was invented as a tool to create wealth for Caesar and was still being used in Marlowe's lifetime for that purpose by those who profited from their divine right. Only such magic can infinite riches be created and maintained. Only by such magic can infinite riches be created and maintained. Bella, that's too loud to be sitting here doing that. If you need to bang it like that, you need to go in another room. Otherwise, just scoop it ever so lightly so I don't hear it. 3 Jews arrived to inform Barabbas that all Jews must go to the Senate House to meet the governor. Marlowe begins the description of Barabbas as a person beyond the weakness of mercy by having him make a wry comment about his daughter, which foresees her fate later in the play. Okay. Quote, I have no charge nor many children, but one sole daughter, whom I hold as dear as Agamemnon did his Iphigenia, and all I have is hers. End quote. That hardly made sense to me. Since hold on, let me pronounce this. Agamemnon. Okay, since Agamemnon attempted to sacrifice Iphigenia merely to have more favorable winds for his trip to Troy, Barabbas's comment does not speak of fatherly love, nor does Barabbas care for his fellow Jews. As the following passage shows, he only cares for himself. Quote, Barabbas, all the Jews in Malta must be there.
Maya.
Like enough, why then let every man provide him and be there for fashion's sake? If anything shall there concern our state, assure yourselves, I'll look aside unto myself. End quote. When Barabbas arrives at the Senate, the government offers the Jews the following terms. Quote, and it's going back and forth between the officer Barabbas, Fernese, between them 3. Okay. Officer reads, first, the tribute money of the Turks shall be levied amongst the Jews, and each of them to pay 1/2 of his estate. Barabbas, how? Half his estate? Aside, I hope you mean not mine. Fernese, read on. Officer reads, secondly, he that denies to pay shall straight become a Christian. Barabbas, how? A Christian? What's here to do? Officer reads. Okay, so it says reads because this officer is reading off of something. Let me go back. Let me read this over. Okay. Officer reads. First, the tribute money of the Turks shall be levied amongst the Jews, and each of them to pay 1/2 of his estate. Barabbas, how? Half his estate? Aside, I hope you mean not mine. Fernese, read on. Officer reads, secondly, he that denies to pay shall straight become a Christian. Barabbas, how? A Christian? What's here to do? Officer reads, lastly, he that denies this shall absolutely lose all he has. And that's Act 1, page 2. End quote. These are the same 3 choices that Shylock was offered in Merchant of Venice. The 3 choices are historically important as they are the same ones that the Flavians offered to the Messianic Jews. In other words, the Flavians attempted to tax the Jews, and when that failed, they attempted to transform their religion into one, Christianity, that would cooperate with the empire. And finally, those that refused the offer to become Christians were destroyed. It is at this point in the play, when the Turks demand their tax, that the broad satirical structure of the Jew of Malta begins to become visible. The play is building typologically upon the Romans' war with the Jews, which is why the demand for taxes leads to the siege. In the play, Malta represents Jerusalem, and the Turks take the place of the Romans who besiege the city. Eventually, Barabbas joins them and leads them into the city and is made governor, which mirrors the Flavian conquest of Jerusalem. At the play's end, Barabbas is even cannibalized like Jesus. Marlowe used the switching technique to make the play's meaning difficult to see, but still apparent to the informed reader. When Marlowe wrote this play, playwrights were being executed in England for lampooning the state or its religion, and by switching the religion of the players and cities, he made his satire invisible to censors. This reversal of the roles of the Romans in the Battle of Jerusalem also occurs in Titus Andronicus, wherein the Romans were the besieged ones and the Goths were the invaders. Barabbas defies the governor, who confiscates his wealth and turns his house into a convent for nuns. Barabbas tells his daughter that religion hides many mischiefs from suspicion. Oh, that's good. That might be our title for today. Oh, don't they use religion to hide a lot of shenanigans? Oh, listen to this. Barabbas defies the governor, who confiscates his wealth and turns his house into a convent for nuns. You will. Barabbas tells his daughter that, quote, religion hides many mischiefs from suspicion, end quote, and discloses where he has hidden his treasures. He has hidden them inside his house, that is, the convent beneath the cross of Christianity. Quote, Barabbas, nay, back, Abigail, and think upon the jewels and the gold. The board is marked thus that covers it. Makes the sign of the cross. Okay, so makes the sign of the cross. Aside to Abigail in a whisper, away, a curse from thy father's sight. Friar Giacomo, Barabbas, although thou art in misbelief and wilt not see thy own afflictions, yet let thy daughter be no longer blind. Barabbas, blind, Friar, I reck not thy persuasions. The board is marked that thus covers it, makes the sign of the cross. End quote. Okay, so that was Barabbas talking with Friar Giacomo as Barabbas was speaking to his daughter Abigail, but Abigail didn't say anything back at this point from what we are quoting here. By repeating the image of the sign of the cross.
Mom,
wait a minute, Bella.
If I was a bird, I'd fly.
Okay, if you was a bird, you would fly. Marlowe is indicating to the reader that something other than what is suggested by the surface narration lies buried beneath it, as he has just stated that religion hides many mischiefs from suspicion. His meaning is not hard to understand. Marlowe is reiterating that Christianity itself is the means of traffic by which Barabbas creates his wealth, and that this is the treasure that he has buried beneath a cross. By linking this wealth to Christianity, Marlowe is making a broad point. He is exposing the entire system of European royal authority that was built upon a false religion designed to keep the masses subservient and give to Caesar and his heirs the divine right to rob them of their wealth, which is still happening today, right? You're just going into the church and giving me everything. Some people even giving their land and everything over to the church, right? Giving everything over to Caesar. Let me get started today. I said I was gonna keep reading. Shalom, Marie. Oh yeah. You was talking about back. You know what? I wonder now, and I'm gonna go back and look at Tupac's album and listen to them lyrics and see if he was, in cold word trying to tell us some of this stuff, which he was in a lot of his music, right? I'm gonna go back and check that. Obedient to Yah, shalom. Yahuwah is one. Shalom. Okay. Abigail smuggles out her father's treasure at night. At this point, Governor Farnese decides to break his alliance with the Turks in return for Spanish protection, thus setting up a parallel to the siege of Jerusalem, when the Jewish rebels turned to an allegiance with the Parthians for protection. A description of the coming siege contains an allusion to the fate of the Jews that fought against the Romans, that none survived to tell the truth to Christendom. Quote, Martin del Bosco, so shall you imitate those you succeed, for when their hideous force environed Rhodes, small though the number was that kept the town, they fought it out, and not a man survived to bring the hapless news to Christendom. End quote. Guys, I don't know why they all. I get it. I get it. Sometimes reading the way they talk is like, why don't you just say it like it's supposed to be said? Like in today's, why it's so hard to understand, right? It's like reading the KJV, thus thou art. What did you say? I mean, you here, come here, right? Barabbas meets the son of the governor, Lodowick, who wishes to become a suitor to Barabbas's daughter Abigail. In a plan to win revenge against the governor, Barabbas promises Abigail to Lodowick, even though he knows she is in love with Lodowick's friend Matthias. Barabbas buys a slave whose name is Ithamore, a pun meaning I the more. As I show below, this is the same Moor/Jew synonym used by Shakespeare. Ithamore is thus a Jew who hates Christians just as Barabbas does. It is at this point that Barabbas makes one of the clearest statements of the true origin of Christianity to be found in the literature of this period. Quote, Barabbas, in spite of these swine eating Christians, unchosen nation, never circumcised, poor villains, such as were ne'er thought upon, till Titus and Vespasian conquered us, am I become as wealthy as I was. End quote. Act 2, page 3. Barabbas's comment flatly indicates that Christians were not thought upon until after Titus and Vespasian had conquered Jerusalem. In other words, Marlowe is saying that there were no Christians during the 40 years between Jesus' purported death and the destruction of Jerusalem. While the statement contradicts the traditional Christian perspective, it should be expected from Marlowe, the author of a book indicating that Christianity was all one man's doing. Returning to the play, Matthias, Josephus's last name, and Lodowick, a name that means war fame, realize that they are both contending for Abigail's hand in marriage. As shown below, yes. Okay, leave it alone. Matthias and Lodowick are typological characters representing Josephus and Titus. Marlowe is using his characters to produce a literary punishment for their treatment of the Jews and their creation of the Josephus Gospels typological satire. The connection between Matthias and Josephus bar Matthias is transparent. However, the connection between Titus and Lodowick is not merely through Lodowick's name, but also the fact that he is the son of the governor, echoing the fact that during the siege of Jerusalem, Titus was the son of Caesar. The following passage is the most important in the play and clarifies the author's symbolic level. Matthias asks Barabbas to borrow his books that he describes as comments upon the Maccabees. Since Marlowe knew that Christians did not exist until Vespasian and Titus had conquered the Jews, He was aware that the Gospels were a comment on the Maccabees. Therefore, the book or two Matthias wishes to borrow were the histories of Josephus and the New Testament, as he had with the indication that something mysterious was buried beneath a cross above. Marlowe has Matthias repeat his request so as to underline its importance to the reader. However, this is the last time the books on the Maccabees are mentioned in the play. The reader must surmise what happened to them. Okay, so now it's about to go back and forth in this short conversation between Catherine and Barabbas, right? Catherine, tell me, Matthias, is not that the Jew, Barabbas? As for the comment on the Maccabees, I have it, sir, and 'tis at your command. Matthias, yes, madame, and my talk with him was about the borrowing of a book or two. Catherine, converse not with him, he is cast off from heaven. Thou hast thy crowns, fellow. Come, let's away. Matthias, Sirrah Jew, remember the book. Barabbas, Mary, will I, sir? End quote. This missing comment on the Maccabees begins a clever hidden satire. The first point the reader needs to grasp is that the books were part of the treasure buried beneath the cross. This must be deduced from the fact that Barabbas had given up all of his possessions to the authorities except for the treasure that had been buried beneath the cross. Though they are never mentioned again, these books dominate the rest of the play. Bella, what are you doing?
Trying to move the chair.
Wait, why does it seem like you're moving the table? What are you doing? What chair? The chair with the arms?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was locked.
No, it wasn't locked. You got to look at the floor and look at the back legs of the chair. Lift the back legs of the chair up and move them over the lip on the floor. Then you can slide it back. Did you already pull it out?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. However you got it done, sis. You better just push my table back to where it's supposed to be. Okay. Where is my spot? Okay. Though they are never mentioned again, these books, the books of the Maccabees, dominate the rest of the play. Barabbas' slave Ithamar is his alter ego, another Jew that has no moral concern over murdering Gentiles. The following famous passage describes the pair's hunting down of Christians and has been cited as an example of Marlowe's anti Semitism. Notice that Barabbas gets someone to hang himself with a scroll, and that Ithamar prunes those Christians that journeyed to Jerusalem. In other words, Barabbas is reversing the fate the Flavian emperors dealt out for the Jews and giving it to the Gentiles. It is difficult to say at this point whether Marlowe is cheering for Barabbas as he lays these diabolical schemes, or whether he has discovered a Jewish plot against the Gentiles and is wryly going about exposing it. Perhaps he is simultaneously horrified at the discovery of the Flavians' historical deception and also horrified at the crypto-Jewish response to it. Quote, Barabbas, now let me know thy name, and therewithal thy birth, condition, and profession. Ithamar, faith, sir, my birth is but mean, my name's Ithamar, my profession, what you please. Barabbas, hast thou no trade? Then listen to my words, and I will teach thee that shall stick by thee. First, be thou void of these affections, compassion, love, vain hope, and heartless fear. Be moved at nothing. See thou pity none, but to thyself smile when the Christians moan. Ithamar, O brave master, I worship your nose for this. Barabbas, as for myself, I walk abroad o' nights and kill sick people groaning under walls. Sometimes I go about and poison wells, and now and then to cherish Christian thieves. I am content to lose some of my crowns, that I may, walking in my gallery, see 'em go beyond see 'em go peoned along my door. Being young, I studied psychic and began to practice first upon the Italian. There I enriched the priests with burials and always kept the sexton's arm in Ur, with digging graves and wringing dead men's nails. And after that, I was an engineer, and in the wars twixt France and Germany, under pretense of helping Charles V, slew friend and enemy with my stratagems. Then after that, I was a usurer, and with extorting, cozening, forfeiting, and tricks belonging unto brokery, I'd fill the goals with bankrupts in a year, and with young orphans planted hospitals, and every moon made some or other mad. And now and then one hanged himself for grief, penning upon his breast a long scroll, how I with interest tormented him. But mark how I am blessed for plaguing them. I have as much coin as I will buy the town. But tell me now, how hast thou spent thy time? Ithamore, faith, master, in setting Christian villages on fire, chaining the eunuchs, binding galley slaves. One time I was an hostler in an inn. One time I was a hostler in an inn, and in the nighttime secretly would I steal to travelers' chambers and there cut their throats. Once at Jerusalem, where the pilgrims kneeled, I strewed powder on the marble stones, and therewithal their knees would rankle so that I have laughed a good to see the cripples go limping home to Christendom on stilts. End quote. They were horrible. Act 2, page 3. The missing comments on the Maccabees began to make their presence felt as Barabbas's plot to bring about the death of Matthias and Lodowick unfolds. This clever scenario, in which Jews conspire behind the scenes to mastermind the tragic deaths of Gentiles, was developed into a subtler genre in the Shakespearean literature. Quote, Barabbas, and mine you have, yet let me talk to her, this offspring of Cain, this Jebusite, that never tasted of the Passover, nor ever shall see the land of Canaan, nor our Messiah that is yet to come. This Gentile maggot, Lodowick, must be deluded. Let him have thy hand, but keep thy heart till Don Matthias comes. End quote. Act 2, page 3. As noted above, Barabbas has assured Matthias that he will send him the comment on the Maccabees, referring to the New Testament Josephus satire. Ithamore then delivers a letter from Barabbas to both Matthias and Lodowick, though its contents are not given. Ithamore asks Barabbas if the letter is poison, and Barabbas tells him it is not, but that it might be done that way, suggesting that the content of the letters might act as poison. However, when Lodowick confronts Matthias, he refers to something, base things, that Matthias has written, not Barabbas. This seemingly incoherent plot point is critical in understanding the satire. Marlowe has created a puzzle or enigma. Who wrote the letter and what does it contain? Surely this can only be another typological reference to the letter written by Matthias, ancient type Josephus, the comment on the Maccabees mentioned earlier. Barabbas would understand the contents of such a letter, since he told us that there were no Christians until after Titus conquered the Jews, and Matthias, as a type of Josephus, would also be willing to take credit for the letter's message. And here's another conversation. Lodowick, he's looking at the letter. What dares the villain write in such base terms? Matthias, thou villain, durst thou court my Abigail? Lodowick, I did, and revenge it if thou darest. Like they're going back and forth. And then it says they fight.
Mommy,
Yes, babe.
why this water wet?
I don't know. Apparently somebody spilled something on it. Put the pillow in the hamper. I'll throw it in the washing machine.
It started wet now on the other pillow.
Okay, well if they're both wet, Dad must have threw them in there. They need to go in the dryer then. But let me check it out. Give me a few minutes. I'm almost done. Let me go back. They about to fight, y'all. Let me go back. Lodowick, looking at the letter. What dares the villain write in such base terms? Matthias, thou villain, durst court my Abigail? Lodowick, I did, and revenge it if thou darest. They fight. Into Barabbas above. Barabbas, oh, bravely fought, and yet they thrust not home. Now, Lodovico, now, Matthias, so both fall. Like, you have to really watch this on movies. I ain't really good with my accent, but y'all get it. So now they have showed themselves to be tall fellows. Cries within, pardon, pardon, Barabbas. Hey, pardon, now they are dead. Farewell, farewell. End quote. Barabbas's daughter joins the convent when she learns what her father has done to Matthias and Lodowick. Barabbas, being thoroughly opposed to anything Christian, decides to poison her. But before she dies, she writes down how her father arranged for the Matthias and Lodowick to kill themselves. Once again, the missing comments on the Maccabees are laying just beneath the surface narration. She gives the letter to a priest, but he cannot utter what she has written aloud, and it was given to him during confession. Over and over again, he begins to describe what Abigail wrote, but then checks himself. This is a literary device to inform the reader that he or she should try to understand what the priest cannot say. What Abigail wrote and the priest cannot say is simply the truth about the Gospels. As Marlowe wrote, they were all the work of one man. Now this getting good. I hope y'all keeping up with this story on how this all connecting with the New Testament and its satire and how Josephus wrote it all, right? Him and his family. Shayla, hey girl, hey. Okay, here's another quote. Abigail enters. Freer what is it? Bernadine. Freer, that's a name. Freer Bernadine. What, all dead save only Abigail? Abigail. And I shall die too, for I feel death coming. Where is the Freer that conversed with me? Freer Bernadine. Oh, he is gone to see other nuns. Abigail. I sent for him, but seeing you are come, you, be you my ghostly father, and first know that in this house I'd live righteously, chaste and devout, much sorrowing for my sins, but ere I came, Freer Bernardine, what then? Abigail. Yes, Bella? What?
I'm getting the juicy out water.
Okay. Abigail, I did offend high heaven so grievously as I am almost desperate for my sins, and one offense torments me more than all. You knew Matthias and Don Lodowick? Freer Bernardine. Yes, what of them? Abigail, my father did contract me to them both. First to Don Lodowick, him I'd never loved. Matthias was the man that I held dear, and for his sake did I become a nun. Freer Bernardine. So say how was their end? Abigail, both jealous of my love, envied each other, and by my father's practice, which is there, gives writing, set down at large, the gallants were both slain. Freer Bernardine, oh monstrous villainy. Abigail, to work my peace, this I confess to thee. Reveal it not, for then my father dies. Freer Bernardine. Know that confession must not be revealed. The canon, law forbids it, and the priest that makes it known, being degraded first, shall be condemned and then sent to the fire. Yes, Bella. I'm in the middle of reading a play, girl. Why you keep calling me? She don't care. Abigail. So I have heard. Pray, therefore, keep it close. Death seized on my heart, ah, gentle Freer. Convert my father that he may be saved, and witness that I die a Christian. Abigail dies. Freer Bernardine, and a virgin too, that grieves me most. But I must to the Jew and exclaim on him and make him stand in fear of me. Re-enters Freer Giacomo. Okay, Freer is a title. So you got Bernadine and Abigail going back and forth. Then Giacomo comes in. Freer, Bernadine, and Freer Giacomo. Re-enter Freer Giacomo. Freer Giacomo. Oh, brother, all the nuns are dead. Let's bury them. Freer Bernadine. First, help to bury this. Then go with me and help me to exclaim against the Jew. Freer Giacomo. Why? What has he done? Freer Bernadine. A thing that makes me tremble to unfold. Freer Giacomo. What? Has he crucified a child? Freer Bernadine. No, but a worse thing. 'Twas told me in shrift, thou knowest till death, and if it be revealed, hold on. No, but a worse thing. 'Twas told me in shrift, thou knowest 'tis death, and if it be revealed, come, let's away. Enter Freer Giacomo and Freer Bernardine. Ithamore. Look, look, master, here come two religious caterpillars. Barabbas. I smelt them ere they came. Ithamore. God of mercy knows. God of mercy knows. Come, let's be gone. Freer Bernardine. Stay, wicked Jew. Repent, I say, and stay. Freer Giacomo. Thou hast offended, therefore must be damned. Barabbas. I fear they know we sent the poisoned broth. Ithamore. And so do I, master. Therefore speak 'em fair. Freer Bernardine. Barabbas. Thou hast, Freer Giacomo, that thou hast, they keep cutting each other off. Barabbas, true, I have money. What though I have? Freer Bernardine, thou art a, Freer Giacomo, thou art a, Barabbas. What needs all this? I know I'm a Jew. Freer Bernardine, thy daughter. Freer Giacomo, thy daughter. They keep cutting each other off, y'all. That's why they're not finishing the sentence. Barabbas, oh, speak not of her, then I die with grief. Freer Bernardine, remember that. Freer Giacomo, remember that. Barabbas, I must needs say that I have been a great usurer. Freer Bernardine, thou hast committed. Barabbas, fornication, but that was in another country, and besides, the wench is dead. Freer Bernardine, but Barabbas, remember Matthias and Don Lodowick. Barabbas, why? What of them? Freer Bernardine, I will not say that by a forged challenge they met. End quote. That's Act, what? 4, page 1. Ithamore now meets the prostitute Bellamira and her pimp Pilia Borza, who attempted to blackmail Barabbas, but he is enraged by their treachery and poisons them. Before they pass away, Bellamira and Pilia Borza confess Barabbas' crimes to the governor. To avoid punishment, Barabbas fakes his own death and is thrown over the city's wall. After his resurrection, he joins forces with the Turkish leader Calymath to besiege the city. Barabbas tells Calymath how best to storm the town. The method that Barabbas reveals concretely identifies Malta as a parallel to Jerusalem. The city of Malta is conquered when Barabbas shows the invaders that there is an underground waterway. The rock is hollow and of purpose digged to make a passage for the running streams. This was the same method that David used to capture Jerusalem in the Old Testament. David instructed his men to climb the water shaft, now known as Warren's shaft, to attack the lame and the blind whom David hates. 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 8. In that attack, David had said that whoever made the first attack would become chief and commander. 1 Chronicles 11 and 6. In the parallel version of the assault given in Jew of Malta, the person who plans the attack is Barabbas, who was then made governor. The parallelism is extended even to Barabbas's daughter, Abigail, which was the name of David's sister. Oh, y'all, I'm telling you, it all goes together. Look, it's getting better by the day. Look. The parallelism is extended even to Barabbas's daughter, Abigail, which was the name of David's sister. All of this is, at one level, a subterfuge to mislead pedantic academics into thinking that Marlowe is comparing Barabbas to the biblical King David. However, wiser readers will understand that although Marlowe is establishing that Malta is a type for Jerusalem, Barabbas and Ithamor should still be identified with the Flavian conquerors of Jerusalem, Vespasian and Titus. Of course, the biblical, that is, the fraudulent Jesus, was said to be from the house of David. So Marlowe's circular, ironic connection of Barabbas to Jesus Barabbas was completed. The play concludes with the same comic theme that ends the Gospels and so many of the Shakespearean plays, that of the cannibalistic feast on the body of Jesus. Barabbas invites the Turks into the city, stating that he does not want them to leave until he has feasted them. Volume 5, page 5. The fate he has in mind for the Turks is the same one Titus gave to the Jews, that of unwitting cannibalism. However, Barabbas falls into the cauldron he prepared for the Turks, obviously becoming the feast himself. Notice the witty question by Calymath, the leader of the Turks, in the following passage describing the feast. Quote, "Tell me, you Christians, what doth this portend?" End quote. This comment is arch irony from Marlowe, who on a portrait that is believed to be of him had his logo a comment had as his logo a comment on the Eucharist, quote, "That which nourishes me destroys me," end quote. What we at? 57 minutes? Okay. Because it's about to go into another conversation. Oh, you know what? Let me just finish it. This is like the end of the chapter. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Okay, we almost done. It's like 2.5 pages, y'all. It's conversation. All right. The night within. Sound a charge there. A charge sounded within. Bernice cuts the cord. The floor of the gallery gives way, and Barnabas falls into a cauldron placed in a pit. Enter Knights and Martin del Bosco. Calymath, how now? What means this? Barabbas, help, help me. Christians, help. Bernice, see, Calymath, this was devised for thee. Calymath, treason, treason, bassoes, fly. Bernice, no, Selim, do not fly. See his end first, and fly then, if thou canst. Barabbas, oh, help me, Selim, help me, Christians. Governor, why stand you all so pitiless? Bernice, should I in pity of thy plight, should I in pity of thy pliance or thee, accursed Barabbas, base Jew, relent. I'm sorry, that's a question. Should I in pity of thy plaints or thee, accursed Barabbas, base Jew, relent? No, thus I'll see thy treachery repaid, but wish thou hadst behaved thee otherwise. Barabbas, you will not help me then? Bernice, no, villain, no. Barabbas, and villains, no, you cannot help me now. Then Barabbas, breathe forth thy latest fate, and in the fury of thy torments strive to end thy life with resolution. No, governor, 'twas I that slew thy son. I had framed the challenge that did make them meet. No, Calumet, I aimed thy overdoer. And had I but escaped this stratagem, I would have brought confusion on you all, damned Christian dogs and Turkish infidels. But now begins the extremity of heat to pinch me with intolerable pangs. Die, life, fly, soul, tongue, curse thy field and die. And then he dies after. Oh, you ain't gonna help me? Then forget y'all then. So he started going. That's essentially what I just read. And then he dies while cursing about Calumet.
What's this?
Hold on, Pootie. Calumet.
Mom, what's this?
That says champion. Okay, you can ask me all of them. Champion, BFF.
No, don't say it.
Tootie, I gotta finish reading this. Hold on. Champion, BFF, Brick Bubbly, Best Dad Ever.
No, this is Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Best Mom Ever. I should have known it by the color. Best Dad Ever.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Calumet, tell me, you Christians, what doth this portend? Bernice, this train he laid to have entrapped thy life. Now, Celine, note the unhallowed deeds of Jews. Thus he determined to have handled thee, but I have rather chose to save thy life. Calumet, was this the banquet he prepared for us? Let's hence, lest further mischief be pretended. End quote. And that's what's that? Volume 5, page 4. It is interesting to note that Marlowe's Jewish protagonist, the antitype to Titus and the Roman Jesus, has ultimately met the same fate as the Jews themselves. That is, he has been boiled and figuratively cannibalized, while the Gentiles have escaped the grisly ending that Barabbas devised for them. And we shall see that this is a very different outcome from the early works of Shakespeare, where the Jewish heroes are generally successful in achieving vengeance against the Gentiles while avoiding such shameful outcomes for themselves. However, the mockery of the Eucharist in the passage is consistent with the rest of the Shakespearean corpus, as I will show. Marlowe's death in May of 1593 ended his efforts to expose the truth about the origins of Christianity. The book he wrote about the religion's origins is gone from history. While some have argued that his death was staged and that he went into some secret refuge where he wrote the rest of the plays, I have no need for that hypothesis. In this book, I will make the case that another author stepped forward who shared Marlowe's understanding of the hidden meaning of the Gospels. She owed so much to Marlowe for both the style and content of her writings. She wrote her plays in the blank verse style of prose that Marlowe had developed and carried on the satire of the Gospels that he had begun with the Jew of Malta. Her name was Emilia Bassano, and she wrote under the name of Shakespeare. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed. Sorry for all the interruptions, and Tootie Baby is still interrupting us. Yes, girl.
Look, I made.
I see what you made, Cody. What is it?
Look.
Oh, it looks like a bus.
No, a troller.
A troller. Oh, a controller. Oh, I see it. I get it now. All right, beautiful people. Thanks for hanging out. It is Monday, November the 1st, 2021, day 291 of year 3 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets. And of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 959. We read Psalm 56 through 60, and we read all of chapter 2 in Shakespeare's Secret Messiah, pages 87 through 107. Y'all, we're gonna be through this book faster, just as fast as we got through Caesar's Messiah, right? We almost to the point where we talk about Revelation. I'm so excited to get there, y'all, because if y'all were like a an end times prophecy person like me, and how I was like deep into it with the book of Daniel, Revelation, and watching the news. And if y'all been friends on Facebook, y'all know all the end of the world prophecies and stuff I used to post until I really started thinking about this stuff, and I started waking up, first of all, realizing who we were. I'm like, oh, snap, then realize, wait a minute, these prophecies seem manufactured, because I could kind of predict some of this stuff based on what I understood and what I knew. I was like, wait a minute, they're manufacturing prophecies to make it look like these things are coming to pass. In all actuality, they are coming to pass because they are creating these situations and causing them to come to pass because they control the media, right? And they control the output of all these things. I'm like, oh, this is the ultimate blasphemy. It's like the rabbit hole gets deeper. So I take joy in uncovering lies and showing the truth to people and showing people, hey, you might want to go take a look at that, right? You might want to go look at that. All right. So, but anyway, I said all that to say I'm super excited to get to these portions about Revelation. It's the last half of the book. It's going to dig deep into it.
Time to end it.
Yes, time to end it. All right. So let's go ahead and do the blessing, which is found.
Don't say it.
Okay. I gotta put it up.
No.
Yep, there it is. The blessing is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. Remember, the first 21 verses is the Nazarite vow. Man, no, what you trying, girl? You about to kick the whole table over. You're trying to adjust yourself. Hold on. Move your feet. Y'all, forgive our morning production shenanigans.
Come on.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahuwah will kneel before us, presenting gifts, and he will guard us with a hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order, and he will protect us with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yahuwah will lift up his wholeness of being and look upon us, and he will set in place all we need to be whole and complete. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel.
And my name.
And they shall put my name upon.
No, in my name, in your name.
But we're the children of Israel. And they shall put my name, Yahuwah's name, upon us, right? They're going to put, anytime anybody bless us, they bless us in Yahuwah's name, right? And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. We're the children of Israel. We bless one another and bless people in Yahuwah's name, and Yahuwah himself blesses us. You get it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, beautiful people. That's it. Oh, Robert, I didn't see you come in. Shalom, shalom.
Us done.
All right, beautiful people. Yes, we are done. I'll see y'all tomorrow, bright and early, 7:15. If I'm running behind, sometimes it's not my shenanigans. Sometimes I am running behind because we got business things that we have to take care of really early, which pushes my time. I'm about to end it, which pushes my time back sometime a few minutes. So when I come post that, like today, we had to handle some. We got a new project starting today. So be patient. We're gonna start, right? But some things have to be handled for the business first. All right, y'all. Love y'all. We out of here. See you tomorrow, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and end it over there, girl. Go ahead, right there. Go and end it.
Proof.